So good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Good morning.
How are you ladies doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
So
Good morning.
before we get started, last Friday, we had a session and forgot to record it. We're recording now. But let's talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend, y'all. First of all, my name is Pam Peebles. I am one of your co-hosts for Crypto and Coffee, where Monday through Friday, we get on here and we talk about everything related to crypto. No tech jargon, no stuff that's over your head, just the basics on how to make money and how to leverage cryptocurrency in your life. And there's a lot of money to be made. And there's a whole lot of money that was made over the weekend, but we'll get into that in a minute. I have my two beautiful sisters, my co-hosts, Marilyn Turner and Frances Rodriguez. Frances, I know you had a very eventful weekend. I had family in town, but your weekend, I was seeing all them pictures and videos. I was like, wow, they over there, the world is lit up over cryptocurrency. So good morning, Frances. Tell us a little bit about your weekend. You no sleep this weekend.
Good morning. Man, I really am. Like, I have no voice. It was really an awesome time. Like, I think we say this a lot on here, but to be around really like-minded people that see what's happening with the markets in general, to then having like a $1 billion trader come in and mark up charts for 2 hours, like it was crazy. And the coolest thing was these were people from all over the world, all different ages, all different stories, people that didn't come from wealth that have created something massive. So it was really amazing. And really my biggest takeaway when I go to any of these events, right, is the way that people who have the massive results, right, the $100,000 a month, 250,000 a month, they're not afraid to give you the exact blueprint of what got them there, right? What they're investing in, what their day looks like. So it was really powerful, really, really powerful. I'm excited. I'll be sharing a lot of it this week.
Yeah, and I like what you just said. As part of that is what our topic about is our topic is about the gold rush. I was just telling my kids this weekend how important it is for them to get involved in some type of education, for them to really take this serious, because in the next 3 to 5 years, we really won't have the option. No, it's not going to be an optional thing. This is no longer just a way to make money, but it is going to be a lifestyle, and it's going to be forced upon us. And when it happens, a lot of people are not going to be prepared, and they're going to be behind. They're going to be behind in not just asset building, but learning, because it's so much happening so rapidly. When I say the next range of millionaires are being created as we speak, they have no idea, especially for the younger generation. I say younger generation, I mean 25 and below. Listen, it's going to be some crazy, insane money made for them, because the more time you have to build wealth, the better off you are. Now, that doesn't mean people my age, because I'm 50. Doesn't mean it ain't nothing out here for us. But I mean, can you imagine, Marilyn, the stuff we know now? I mean, think about it. The stuff we know now, I was just telling this to my 19-year-old son, the stuff we know right now. If you'd have known this at 19, girl, seriously, if I had known just what I know about cryptocurrency right now, let me tell you, different ball game.
That is so true. I say the same thing all the time, but and I actually saw your post, and it was the only thing that made me feel better about not being in that space until now. We just don't know any better, because we didn't run into those people who were doing this right now. So if we had known this stuff way back then, we would be in a lot better shape than we are now. So we just got to take it for what it is today and move forward with it, knowing that, we finally have that knowledge. Let's do something with it. Like me, for instance, all I do now is watch market data, because that's where my mind is. I think we were talking about this Friday, Pam. Monero new coin that I was looking into purchasing. Woke up a little happy this morning because it's up and it's still going up. So that's a change in my routine, not regular Mondays anymore. I actually have money goals now because of it.
What's really interesting is that the new wealth that's being created now, we talk all the time about, the training that we've gotten and how, people really need to be part of this academy. But the reality is that, I feel bad for people who don't make the transition into learning about digital currency now, because I really believe in the next 3 to 5 years, you won't see paper money. The United States, we were part of our topic today is whether or not cryptocurrency is going to be the new gold rush. Because remember, there was a time a long time ago where people didn't really seem to find as much value in minerals. And then all of a sudden there was this huge gold rush and everybody was trying to get out there and make all this money. And the crazy thing was the people who were mining for the gold was making a little bit of money, but it was people that were selling the tools and the resources for people to mine for the gold who really made the killing. The people who had the shovels and things like that were the ones who were out there killing the game. So I say all that to say this, is that whether you are new to the game, you're still learning, or you're a seasoned vet, make sure you share this with somebody you love. Education is so important, especially with our younger generation, for the ones who don't have any type of training on money, on how to build wealth, on how to secure their lifestyle or create a lifestyle for themselves. Share it with them. The younger generation, some of them are just completely lost. And, at 20 years old, had someone told me the things that I know now, listen, we'd be having a totally different conversation. Mine is blown on some of the things that I see. So let's talk a little bit today, y'all, about, are we in a gold rush? Is cryptocurrency? Because I'm starting to see a lot of cities and states, let's not even talk about countries, who want to be the first to claim crypto. Now, remember, just not too long ago, it was, just junk money. It wasn't real. Now, all of a sudden, you have all of these cities and places that, like New York City, wants to be the capital of cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. And you're starting to see that Wyoming, of all places, most people aren't thinking about going to, sorry, but now wants to be known as crypto capital. You have Tampa, Florida, you have Miami, you have all of these different places who are claiming that they want to be the capital, not of the world, but of cryptocurrency, which is a bold ass move, a big ass statement to say you want to be the place where Bitcoin is known from, even though most of these places have nothing to do with mining or anything else. But they want to be part of it. So Francis, let's talk a little bit about, why are all these companies, or not companies, why are all these cities coming to the table and they want their bit of Bitcoin, or they want to be part of cryptocurrency? Why are they trying to associate themselves? I mean, because I know why, but it doesn't make sense to other people. Why would New York City even want to be associated with being the capital of crypto?
Man, I feel like we could probably talk about this for hours, but I think let's talk about where gold really is at right now, right? I think like starting there is a really good place, because most people, if they don't know, they assume like, oh, well, our dollar's backed by gold. So, why would people be saying like either crypto is the new gold rush or Bitcoin itself, right? And I think when we start to get educated and understand like, hey, our US dollar is not even backed by gold. Like, do you guys remember the US dollar being a good thing because it was backed by gold? Well, that's been over for a really long time. And so when we can realize that first part, a lot of the rest of this conversation will make more sense. But then the second piece to this is I want to talk, I just got to laugh because this dude, no matter how you feel about him, he's a brilliant businessman. Like, you got to give him that. So I want to talk about Elon Musk for a second, because I think people look at crypto, or they look like Bitcoin specifically, and they don't understand like, why is this so valuable? Well, let's talk about gold for a second, right? Crypto is a world of supply and demand, right? The smaller the supply, the higher the demand. But that's like anything else, right? If if let's say a town only had one gas station, there's a higher demand there because people are going to have to go to that one gas station. So it makes that gas station more profitable, right? So that's the basics. It's like with anything else. So what we got to understand is, I'm going to give you an example of what Elon Musk is doing right now so that we can understand why gold is not as valuable as before. You can look up the price of it right now and see that it's nothing like what it used to be, because there's way more of it now. So when there's way more of something, that decreases the value. So, and this is like, I promise, follow me, you guys. Like, this whole story will help you understand like why every state wants to fight to be known, right, as the crypto capital. And other countries too. I mean, you're looking at Argentina and other countries that are going to adopt Bitcoin as their dominant currency. But think about this, right? So Elon Musk, for example, his vehicles run off of gold or off of precious metals, right? We can throw them all in a category, but gold, right? So what he has been doing is going into space and mining his own precious metals to bring them back to the US, right? Or to wherever they're manufacturing his cars. So if we think about that, doesn't that open up and create more of a supply of gold, right? And precious metals? So again, if we look at the principle of what makes, what partly, right, what makes something valuable is, we got to look at the value, right? How much of it do we have? And if it's more, then it's less valuable. And if it's less, it's more valuable. So now when you look at that, right, like that's brilliant, by the way, you're going to mine the metals that your car needs. That's brilliant. But it also is going to decrease the value of gold even more than it already is. So when we look at like Bitcoin, for example, we got to look at what makes it really valuable, and really crypto in general, for the most part. Just like gold, Bitcoin is extremely scarce. Gold was once scarce, not so much so anymore. So what sets Bitcoin and a lot of other cryptocurrencies apart is their scarcity. Think about our US dollar. Why does it not have any value? Because they're printing off trillions like we got that kind of money and we don't. So when we think about that, like, okay, it's not scarce, therefore it's not valuable. But when you look at something like Bitcoin, where there's only 21 million, and that's why, you guys, like, I'm not trying to instill any fear in you, not at all. You did not miss the boat with crypto, but this is extremely time sensitive, because if you understand the basics, which is supply and demand, there is only a certain amount of Bitcoin available. And once it's in circulation and it's gone, that's it. So you need a piece of that. And granted, yes, there are 7,000 plus other cryptocurrencies, but the truth is we got to look at the basics for what they are. Bitcoin is scarce. There's only 21 million. So that makes it extremely valuable because it puts a bigger demand, right? The other thing is, it's easy in terms of programming, in terms of usage. So those are just little things, like when we talk about why states are fighting, it's because they recognize it for what it is, right? Like anything that's given value, and sorry, I'll be done right after this piece, but we got to think about the three things that are looked at when we talk about, is something valuable? And normally it has to have a medium of exchange, right? So with Bitcoin, well, it's a global form of payment. You can use it anywhere. It has to have a unit of account, and it has to have value. It's valuable because it's scarce. And unit of account of one Bitcoin can be broken down into a million pieces. So it's just crazy when we understand the basics of just supply and demand. Our US dollar is a perfect example of why you probably shouldn't really store money there. It has no value. There's way too much of it. They can decide to make a 5011 CARES Act right now and print 10 trillion more dollars that we really don't have, because they can do that. It's not scarce. Bitcoin, on the other end, you can't. Gold, Elon Musk is mining more of it, which makes it less valuable. So hopefully that was good insight for you guys to just really like, hey, okay, like this is the basics of supply and demand, which is why these states are wanting to be recognized as the first place to do X, Y, and Z with crypto, right? So I'm excited for this season because so much is about to start happening.
Yeah. Speaking of Elon Musk, I don't know if you ladies caught this, but he actually bought the dog that he was, when he tweeted about Shiba Inu, he actually bought a dog and he named the dog Floki. And I'm gonna tell you, I followed the trend because they now have a Floki coin. And that thing was up like 3,000 something %, and it came out on June 26th. So I now have 3 meme coins in my portfolio just in case they do something. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And the dog's name is Floki, which means explored. So I thought that was kind of interesting. You know, I'm the kind of, Francis is a coin geek on one level, I'm a coin geek on the other level. So have you guys bought any Floki, or have you heard of it?
I heard about it. I heard about it this weekend. I saw the tweet that went out from Elon Musk, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think early on, and when I mean early on, I mean just a couple months ago, his tweets were much more effective. But I think now people realize that he's manipulating the market. You know, if this was the New York Stock Exchange, he would be fined. But of course, cryptocurrency is not regulated that way. So he's able to, or he's in the past been able to manipulate the market, and there's been no consequences. Well, what's happening now is for the coins that are being pushed, even with the meme coins, I think the reason that people want in on it is because it gives you so much more control. You know, the banking industry, you say what you want about the banking industry, but we were just talking, I was talking to someone over the weekend and explaining to them the difference between what's happening in the banking industry and what's happening in the crypto world. Because in the crypto world, you can make $1 million and borrow against it without having to take the money out, which means that you wouldn't have to pay income taxes on it. Okay. And it's a lot of interesting things that are happening. And that's really why you're getting a lot of pushback and resistance from the banks, because, and not just the banks, but the government. Because here's the thing, if you can make $1 million in crypto and you can put it into a wallet that continues to build asset, and you continues to build for you, and you use it as an asset and borrow against it, that means that you technically don't ever have to take that money out. You can have a multi-million-dollar portfolio and just take the money and borrow against it, and not take the money out, which means that they can't tax you on it. Do you understand why this is so problematic for our government? It's problematic because normally if you won the lottery and you made $1 million, they would take 40 to 45% of it. But if they can't take your money because you have it still sitting there as an asset, and you're just borrowing against it, and the money is being either paid back or it's coming back through dividends from your investment, that's an issue. So I think the reason why a lot of these states and cities and even other countries are starting to dive in deep and want to be known as the first in crypto is because they too realize that we're moving to a digital world. We're moving to an economy where the US dollar, which is already useless, will become less and less valuable. Your dollar will be worth, I think right now it's worth like 89 cents in the real world, somewhere around there. But you're talking about a declining asset because as Francis says, we're just printing out money like, we got it. And then the issue becomes, if they can't tax us to get some of this money back, where are they going to get it from? So now suddenly everyone wants to get involved. And if we seen, it's like 420 legislation and legalization. You remember how before everyone would say, oh, weed is so horrible for you. And if you smoke weed, that means you're a pothead and you're unproductive and you don't have a life. And then when they started legalizing it, then all of a sudden you started seeing cannabis pop up in every product in the world. It was cannabis. First, it was just you smoking weed. Then it became a commodity. Then it became something that wasn't just, sorry for going there, but something that, people color smoke. Then it became something that everybody wanted. Same thing is happening with crypto. It wasn't just, the techies. It's now everyone wants part of it because they see how big it's getting and they want their share of it. So Francis, I'm just running my mouth over here, but I liken crypto and what's happening with crypto and why it is such a gold rush to the same thing that happened, over the last 5 years with cannabis, where at first it was so taboo and now everybody's going, oh, you know what, it's not so bad, it has some really good purposes, you can use it without getting high. And I see people now like, oh, well, that crypto, it's not so bad, you can actually, oh, we can make millions and not get taxed on it. Oh yeah, this sounds like a good thing, let us get ourselves involved with this. This is what I see it as happening. Francis, what is your thoughts on, I know that's a really off comparison, but as far as the deregulation that's getting ready to happen with it, do you think that's why people are rushing to be part of this crypto rush?
I mean, yeah, you got to think about it because, I think like with our US dollar, right? It used to be backed by gold and Nixon put an end to that, right? Where our US dollar used to equate to a specific amount of gold, right? Being backed by it. And that's not the case anymore. So what starts to happen when they can't control, because this is about control and controlling what happens and doesn't happen to the economy from their perspective. What happens when you can't really regulate something and you see people getting filthy wealthy off of it? You're going to have to get involved. And that's exactly what's happening, which is why we keep telling people like, guys, this is time sensitive. They're shaking the amateurs out the market so that they can come in and buy it while it's still low. Because as they get more and more involved, and I mean big financial institutions, other people with really long money, they have to get more heavily involved, because with that, they'll start to figure out how they're able to tax it, how they're able to put a little control to it. But if you already have ownership, it's going to be a little different of what they can and can't do. And so, yeah, when they see that they don't have the control, they have to figure out, one, how to heavily get involved, but two, they're going to figure out eventually how to tack on additional fees and other things so that they can properly benefit, because they're losing a whole lot of money that already didn't have value. But again, it's a control thing. So there's so much to that piece of the conversation that it's like, yeah, they know what's up, which is why they're the ones buying it all up when they're scaring the amateurs to sell theirs. So they scare the amateur sells, and then they come in and they buy. Psychology in the market. So like anything else, they're going to have to get with it.
Yeah, I want to jump on there too and add, Francis, that it will not be surprising to me to see within the next couple of years that you're going to start seeing crypto banks pop up, similar to, your Bank of America, your Wells Fargo. They're definitely trying to position themselves because they're losing money. Why would you continue to put your money? We talked about this so many different times on our show. Why would you put your money into a depreciating asset, which is the bank? You're putting your money in to allow people to take it and lend against it. So why would you continue to do that? So what's going to end up happening, I believe, not a psychic, but I believe that they're going to start up some crypto banks, and you're going to see more and more digital online banking where you're going to be able to transfer money freely between your digital wallets and your digital bank account. I don't know what's out there yet, but I promise you it's being invented because they have to be able to still hold your assets. They're going to talk about the benefits, in my opinion, of how you still need to be able to be liquid. Some things that they never cared about before are suddenly going to come to the forefront. And you best believe that the bank and the government are in cahoots. And I sound like a tin hat, like your tin hat needs to be on now, but because they're both losing money. They're losing money because even for me, I don't keep as much money in my bank account anymore to be liquid, because I know how I can be liquid in the digital currency market. So Marilyn, let's talk about this a little bit, because you and I were just talking about this the other day. We were talking about the benefit of the benefit of digital currency. And let me add too, for those of you guys who are watching, we recently changed our name from Crypto Coaching for Women to Crypto Coaching for Beginners, because surprisingly, we have a lot of guys that tune in and was sending us messages like, well, can we be part of this too? You ain't got no love for you don't have no love for the men. And we were like, we absolutely do. So we realized, you know what, let's not be sexist. Let's share the wealth and the education with everybody. So you can now find us on Facebook at Crypto Coaching for Beginners, and also, bless you, on YouTube, Crypto Coaching for Beginners, where we share all of the tips, same resources, same information, but no discrimination. So Marilyn, we want everybody to get paid. How's that? Marilyn, let's talk a little bit, because you and I were just chatting about this, I think on Friday, on how, you know, we're seeing all of this stuff unfold before our eyes. And, you know, maybe we weren't as open to it before because, you know, we weren't as heavily invested in the crypto arena. But all of the changes that we've just seen over the last 6 months, as far as regulation, as far as, you know, all the big whales starting to come in who was never in cryptocurrency before, making these multi-million-dollar purchases. Which, by the way, with cryptocurrency, you can see what everybody is doing. Every transaction that's made, it's all out in the public, but it doesn't have your name behind it. So you're just whale number one or whale number two. But even recently, I've been noticing, Francis mentioned the other day about how you can protect your assets when the market goes up and down by transferring it over to a stable coin that pretty much is the USD coin that really doesn't fluctuate or have much movement to it. And I saw the other day that somebody made a very huge transaction to the USD coin, about $20 million. So you can see this information, but you know, you don't see who's behind it, but it's starting to happen more and more and more, which means that there's a whole lot of big players out here in this little pond. It's a lot of big fish, or what I would call, they call them whales, I call them sharks, because they're eating it all up. So Marilyn, jump in here. Francis, jump in here, because I'm just rambling. But let's talk a little bit about it, because one thing that's for sure, that USD coin is not going anywhere. It's not really going up. It fluctuates between 98 cents to a dollar and one, but that's about it. It's very, very stable. But the fact that more people are starting to transfer their money to it while this market is going up and down is really interesting. When I saw that $20 million transaction the other day, I said, oh, okay. I wonder what they sold. I wonder what they got. Marilyn, I know you and I have been talking a whole lot about it. Francis makes it a very polished presentation, but I talk about flipping coins. What's your thought on this thing with the transparency and why people are coming out now?
Yeah. What I love most about cryptocurrency is its diversity. I mean, opposed to the dollar, we have a dollar bill and we have change. And then we have the currencies and the other forms, the foreign currencies, but they're all paper money. Cryptocurrency is over 7,000 and they're still growing. So it gives you a lot more control over your money. Just like when I was talking about the meme coins, I actually hold some of the meme coins just for curiosity. But what I do with meme coins the most is I flip them. Like Pam says, whenever I see a gain in a flip coin, I say flip coin, that's going to be a new coin, y'all, watch out for it. But anyway, once I see a gain in a coin, that's when I flip it and I actually move that money over to my stable coins. So I have more control over what I do with my money, and that's what I love about cryptocurrency. And I guess, you know, this is what's taking up the most of my day now is learning about the new coins and researching them. I just love crypto, guys. I'm just like team crypto over here.
Yeah. And I think too, the entry point for some people, I don't invest in a lot of meme coins. I have the SHIB. I got that very early on. So I am part of the SHIB army, but you know, I'm fascinated that a coin that initially came out as a toy or something for people to just play with, how they go on to try and develop things to work around the coin. Once they see, it's kind of like a product launch. They launch it, and then once they see people are interested in it, now they're trying to find a utility and purpose for it. So same happened with Doge. Doge came out and it didn't really have any purpose, but once they saw that they had a huge following behind it and it shot up to 72 cents, it was like, you know what, it'd be beneficial to keep this coin around. And they're doing very similar with other coins, SHIB being one of them, where they're trying to find utilities and purposes for them. So it's very interesting, but I'm just going to touch real quickly back on the thing. I was just reading, Wyoming and Florida and Texas, a lot of these states are starting to, lower their fees for corporations and different things to try and get miners there, to try and get, digital entrepreneurs there, even some countries, because I travel a lot. I've seen some countries offering what they call digital vacations. Guys, if you can't read the writing on the wall, Francis says this all the time. These are wealth indicators. When everybody around you is talking about how they can get their grimy little hands into crypto, you got to wonder what the reason is for. Why is now all of a sudden you have all of these politicians, and I read somewhere where it was some politician who bought up a whole bunch of cryptocurrency when the market dropped the other day. Why is this now a conversation that everybody wants to have, and where are they getting their education from? Because truth of the matter is, I think one of the best things that we have going on in our academy is that you can get access for less than $200. I was running through the whole platform with somebody just yesterday and showing them all of the different trainers that we have, and how pretty much Sunday through Saturday, you can get access to some of the top cryptocurrency experts in the world. Okay, not just in our company, in the world. And they shoot knowledge like crazy. So let me share with you guys, for those of you who are not aware of what it is that we do, let's talk about that for a little bit. And then Francis, I'm going to have you kind of fill them in a little bit. But we are all part of this amazing wealth community that provides education, transformation, information, resources, everything that you can need in order to build the type of lifestyle that you want. And as my daughter mentioned yesterday, she said, I just want to do what you do. I want to watch TV in the middle of the day if I want to. And we were watching, the Masked Singer one day. And she was like, I just want to come over and chill and do this and never have to worry about money again. I said, well, you're in the right spot. But we have education, the information and resources that you can literally plug into and learn any and everything about crypto from some of the top trainers in the world, I think, ever. Every day, 7 days a week, there's a training going on live. In addition to that, you have access to video upon video upon video of recordings. So much information. I can't even, I feel like I'm leaving a whole lot out, but it's just so much. Wherever somebody wants to plug in, they get access to it. We even have trade ideas sent to us that you can take, make a whole lot of money. So if you are not involved with a wealth community, if you don't have people on your side telling you, listen, you need to be invested in this coin, you need to be invested in this, you need to look at this and do your due diligence, then I want to invite you to partner with us. Get in touch either with the person who put you on this call. If it's one of us, get back in touch with us and we will connect you, or we will get you set up. Because what's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years, I hate to sound like doom and gloom, but you are really going to miss out, because it is time sensitive. It's just like when Bitcoin first came out, the people who got in on it early made a shitload of money. Let's just be real. I talk about this all the time, that I was told to invest $1,000 into Bitcoin when it first came out, and I didn't know anything about it. And as of right now, had I made that $1,000 investment, and we're talking maybe 12 years ago, it would now be worth, well, Bitcoin has went down a little bit, but we'd be talking about 300 something million dollars that would have been made from $1,000 investment. So there is power to this information. And we just want to share it with as many of you guys as possible. So again, get back in touch with the person who put you on here. And if you don't have a person, then get in touch with one of us. You can find our information on Facebook in our Crypto Coaching for Beginners group, and also on our YouTube channel, which is also Crypto Coaching for Beginners. So Francis, let's talk a little bit more about this education, because I think it's something that we don't talk enough about how people can benefit from the training, the resources, all of the information that they give out for free. And we're talking, 7, 8, 9-figure traders, literally people who are making 10 million, 20 million a year, who get on and provide you with access to this resources for the low price of
$200. I wanted to say one last thing about stable coins, and then I'll cover and share with you guys really, I mean, even something from this weekend that was super powerful. But what Pam said about wealth indicators, you guys, I want you to think about something, because Walmart released an article about them unveiling a patent for their own stable coin. So follow me for a second. Why is that important? Well, because stable coins don't fluctuate, right? The US dollar coin doesn't fluctuate. So like Pam said, you know, investors, traders, they're protecting their assets and their profit really in stable coins until the market stabilizes again and we do our thing. But for a company like Walmart to be unveiling a patent like that, right? That says, hey, we're creating our own stable coin. Why is that important? Well, for processing, you guys, think about this. Just because Walmart is one of the biggest companies out here, right? It doesn't mean that they don't pay processing fees to the banks. We got to think about this, right? Like everyone pays fees to the banks in some way. And so these big companies can really eliminate that 2 to 3% that they're paying in processing fees for the banks to be the one processing things and get right to the money. And that's a wealth indicator. So I just wanted to share that because Walmart is not tripping. In that article, you can see that it says they know where this is going in the next couple years, and they want to make sure they have a stable coin in place. So that's crazy.
Well, not just them, but Amazon is also doing something very similar. And, you know, you really, I always say this, you have to think about companies that are already making billions of dollars a year are pivoting.
Yep.
Companies that are already, I'm talking about Walmart in particular. Let's use France's example. When I say they have generations and generations and generations of people who live off of Walmart money, the fact that they are now pivoting to stable coins so that they can reduce all their fees, and why it may not seem like a lot, I want y'all to think about some things. If Walmart pays probably 1% in transaction fees, 1% of $1 billion, y'all, is a lot of money. So if and really billions of dollars, because they make billions of dollars a year. So you imagine if they're able to cut out that middleman, and they're able to use their own processing, and they're able to cut that fee down to 0.5%. 1% of billions of dollars is a whole lot of money, and they have access to the same coin. I want y'all to listen to this, that we got. Okay, so Walmart is not getting, if they're going to use ADA, for example, guess who else can buy ADA? Me. Now, maybe I can't buy 10 billion of them, but I sure can buy 5,000 of them. So when you see a company making money moves like that, and that's why I say when people don't, I know we're kind of fanatics about it. I get it. We got issues. But when people don't take heed to the information and they're just like, oh yeah, well, maybe. I'm like, listen, if I had made the investment when I knew about it back then, we're talking about, I'd probably be sitting on over $500 million. And that's no joke. It's no joke. So now that I see Walmart getting in on the game and they're talking about their reasoning, utility for it, you're seeing Amazon, you're seeing the US government. And this is not stuff we're just telling y'all. Go do your own research. We're real big on follow the money trail. And if the multimillionaires, the multi-billionaires are investing in these coins, the question is, why aren't you? Why aren't you? And the truth of the matter is, for me, it was because I didn't have the education, which is why we get on here Monday through Friday, not to brag about our portfolios, even though I must say it is sexy, very sexy, but to share the information and resources in a simple way, because nobody shared it with me in a simple way. It was given to me in a way that I couldn't understand it. And because of that, I didn't make the investment. And that investment has probably cost me, I'm going to say at minimum, $300 million. On a high note, probably 500 or 600 million dollars. And this is not an exaggeration. I have done the math several times, and every time I do, I just get more and more excited because now I know, and I won't ever make that decision again. But let's talk a little bit about our education. I know Maryland
Yeah.
is geeked out on the on the training that we had over the weekend, which, you know, one of the trainings was on DeFi, which is,
All I can say is,
I'm telling you, if y'all are not attached to a money source, and what I mean by money sources, I mean training, education, and resources that's elevating you to a higher level, that's teaching you how to invest your money, it is the time. We have family in town over the weekend, but for the little bit of training that I was able to pop in on, I was like, oh man, I gotta go back and finish this training, because just the direction that DeFi is going in, the direction that crypto is going in, everything that's slated to happen over Q3 and 4, which is the last part of this year, is so insane. I truly believe that we're going to see a lot in our community pop out into multimillionaire status over the next 24 to 36 months based on some of these investments we're making. And we want to share it with you guys, because one thing about cryptocurrency is it doesn't have a face. So just like Walmart or Amazon or US government can do all these things, we can do the same thing, maybe on a smaller note. But there's nothing stopping me from getting the same exact coins that Walmart has access to. Even if they build their own coin, I promise you they're going to go public with it and sell it.
Yep. And that's the biggest thing. You said one of the most important things, which is having a source. Like, there's a lot of misinformation out there, especially about crypto, because people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Not some of these crypto gurus on Facebook that are panicking. If you're a guru, you wouldn't be panicking. End of discussion with that part. But when we talk about access, that's really what it's all about. That word right there, it's access, you guys. In our community, it's pretty much broken up in 3 parts, right? We have to teach you the basic terminology of the crypto world, really teach you the basics to help you understand the world of digital currency in general, right? Then we give you access to a live streaming platform. And this is the part where I think really sets us apart from anywhere else in the world you can learn this skill set. And it's because you have access to over 200 educators that are on live. Just like you're on Zoom with us, we're breaking it down in a way that it makes sense. You guys, here's a news flash. We're not brilliant. We only can break it down like this because the educators break it down for us in a way that it makes sense. And then we take that and we share it, because why wouldn't we, right? But we'd be doing you a disservice if we told you that just because you come to Crypto and Coffee every morning for a whole week that you're a crypto guru. You're not. You might learn some basics, but it's so much more than a sit down for 40 minutes. But we have a live streaming platform, you guys. And when I say educators, these are educators vetted by our CEO, who is a documented billionaire trader, like well sought out outside of this community. And I heard something so powerful this weekend, you guys, because we really do have the best crypto educators on the planet, Crypto Picasso being one of them. This man is the best Bitcoin trader in the world, documented, and documentation beats conversation any day. But when I heard our CEO, as he was breaking down a chart, oh, you guys, I did not know that every single alert that Crypto Picasso sends out to us in terms of trading cryptocurrency is backed by the CEO, because they discussed the idea before Crypto Picasso puts it in the app. I was like, oh, there's no way I'm missing one of these alerts at all. And so it's the access for me. Where else can I go and sit at a table with billionaires for them to tell me what they're doing in the market? If you ask me, that is worth way more than $200 a month, way more. And so to know that you have access to that, and then it's only up to me to make it happen because everything I need is right there. Like that's insane. So you'll get live mentorship 24/7, as much or as little as you need it. But honestly, our world needs live mentorship because we got a lot of discombobulation out here. That's the only word that really came to me. And then of course you get mobile apps, because we understand like people are busy. I'm busy. My toddler's right here going crazy. Pam's got a lot going on. Marilyn's got a lot going on. A lot of us do. But to have a mobile app where these educators are literally laying out a blueprint for your success in crypto to a mobile app, listen, I would pay $500 a month for Swipecoin by itself, which is our mobile app, because that right there, that's digital gold. If you ask me, our apps are digital gold, because you can literally utilize this skill anywhere you go, on the go. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. Crypto is a 24/7 market. Like, after everything I just said, I'm like, Chris Terry, do we need to talk about raising this $200? Because after what I saw him do on charts this weekend, listen, 200 ain't enough.
Let me jump in here real quick too, because you were just talking about the app. I was, I hadn't been trading for a minute, but I'm going to tell you one of the things I started paying really close attention to Swipecoin, and one of the ones that came across to me was this particular one. I don't know if you can see it, but it was basically telling me how to go and sell Bitcoin to trade it, and that there was 2,780 pips. Okay. Listen, y'all, if you hadn't traded before, you'll learn how to do that here. But a pip could be worth as much as, or as little as 1 cent, but as much as $10 or $100, just depends upon how much you invest. But let's just say, for the sake of numbers, we're talking about $1. That transaction is $2,780. That's one transaction. And I can keep going through my phone over and over again of all the ones they send every single day telling me to invest more, 1,600, 700. And it just goes on and on. So folks, we're going to wrap up because we're getting a little long-winded here. But one of the things I always say is pay attention to what the market is doing. If you see companies like Walmart, Amazon, companies like that making these major moves, investing billions of dollars of their money, do not think they are just out here playing a game. There is no game when you're putting billions of dollars into the market. The fact that they are making billion-dollar moves means that at the very least, you should be making $100 moves. You should be picking up whatever coins you can. If Elon Musk is tweeting about it, or whatever the case may be, it's because he's trying to drive up that coin. But the question becomes, why is he investing in that coin? And I think, Marilyn, that's where you really come in and do your due diligence and, start geeking out and like, oh, well, if this person is doing this, there's a reason why. So Marilyn, let's close out, but tell me where your thoughts is about all of these major corporations and these cities and everybody else getting access to the same stuff we have access to. Is that not sexy as hell? I mean, let's just be honest that you're pretty much holding on to the same currency that Elon Musk has, the multi-billionaire, and holding on to the currency that Walmart has. Come on.
Yeah, that just gave me something else to go and research, because that was something that I did not know. So that little piece of information flew over my head, but you best believe I will be diving in deep after crypto and coffee. But all of this for me is confirmation. It excites me more and more every day to see that so many people are following suit, especially the people that have the money, the ones who are investing billions and billions of dollars. So it makes me feel good about my hundreds and my thousands that I'm investing. So, yeah. And I don't know how much more simpler I can put this, but I'll try by saying, if you have this thought in your head about what crypto or trading is, because I had that image of what it was. I saw these charts and I saw the lines and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Inside the academy, they literally take you back to 5th grade. They draw lines. Do you see this line? Okay. They show you basically on a level where a kindergartner probably could understand this stuff. So inside that world of crypto and what is it? Digital currency? No, Forex. Forex, it looks like, to me, I say Chinese arithmetic, but inside of our academy, it doesn't. It is so simplified and it makes it so easy to learn which is what really keeps me entertained, and it keeps me want to learn more and more because I understand it. It's not like algebra. It's kind of like algebra bills, but like easy algebra. I would say that much because they literally hold your hand. And I found myself, as opposed to my college days, oh my God, I gotta go to class. I am excited about going to class. I'm excited about losing sleep because I know that I'm making money even in my sleep. And I know what's going on when I look at these charts and this swipe coin. And Pam, I got those messages too. Swipe coin. I was clicking on every single link that they sent to me, and the information is so robust. I mean, there's no way you can't make money unless you don't get involved. That's just my opinion, because I stay involved.
Yeah, and I think the getting involved is the most important part. So guys, thank you for joining us for another edition of Crypto and Coffee. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about top 10 coins that you should be looking at. We did it last week and it was just insane. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. for another edition of Crypto and Coffee. Bye guys, we love you. Bye.
Bye.